Sophomores, happy Tuesday to you all. Cinco de Mayo, as it were. Hope you guys are having a fabulous day. And it's about ready to get more fabulous because we're going to be doing some review for your test tomorrow. So, tomorrow you are going to have your final Latin 2 test. All right. So, this will be chapter 37. The conjugation of AO. So all of your charts are going to be from AO. You are going to have the following AO charts. You are going to have present indicative, imperfect indicative, future indicative, perfect indicative, and then present subjunctive and imperfect subjunctive. Okay? So, present, imperfect, future, and perfect indicatives, and then present and imperfect subjunctives. So 6 charts altogether, and actually all those charts are on page 312 for you. Okay? So keeping it pretty simple and straightforward for you. All right. Also, please make sure that you review and know how to work with place constructions and time constructions. So remember, place constructions, you have place where, place from which, and place to which. Okay? Place where, you usually have in or sub plus the ablative. Okay? So for example, I live in a tree. Not really, but so in that instance, you'd have in plus the ablative. All right. Now, if you are dealing with a city, town, or small island, or domus, humus, or rus, rather than using the ablative, you are going to use the special locative case. Okay. And remember, this is all in your book and also in the a video from a while back, but the locative for cities, towns, small islands, if it is a first or second declension singular noun, for example, Roma, your locative looks identical to your genitive. All right. If, however, it is a plural noun or a third declension noun, your locative will look identical to your ablative. Okay, so that is how you form the locative case. Okay, and remember, the locative will not have a preposition along with it. All right, so that's place where. Place to which is going to be with something like in or odd plus the accusative. Okay, so for example, I walked to the store. Okay, you'd have in or odd plus the accusative for the word store. All right. Now, if you're dealing with a city, town, small island, or domus, humus, rus, rather than using a preposition plus the accusative, you are going to simply use the accusative. Okay. And then finally, place from which, or separation. This will be something like ob, day, or x plus the ablative. So, for example, I walked out of the room. Okay, you'd have X and then the ablative for room. Okay, however, with cities, towns, small islands, and domus, humus, and rus, you will simply have the ablative case, no preposition. Okay, so that is place constructions. Now, time constructions. All right, time constructions, we've done the ablative of time when. That is when you have just the ablative case and then a word, some sort of time word usually. And you could translate it at, on, within, depending on the context. There are several different translations, and you can review that in your book. But the new one, this chapter, is the duration of time, and this is with the accusative. Okay, so if you want to show duration of time, you use accusative. All right, and no Latin preposition. All right, and you'll say most often it's translated for. Okay, so for example, for 10 years they waged war at Troy. Okay, Also, you will notice this one is, your book mentions it is fairly common with, if you want to say how old someone is, you use the word natus or nata, and then the duration of time. So, for example, I'm 32, so how you do that in Latin would be natus, and then triginta duo annos. So like having been born for 32 years would be the literal translation, but what it means is 32 years old, okay, or at the age of 32. So that's the duration of time. Okay, so you can review the video that we did those on, or look it up in your book, or both. Okay, so you will have you'll have some multiple choice questions with that, and there'll probably be some site translation stuff that you have to deal with that as well. Okay, and you will, once again, like the other two tests this quarter, you will have some Aeneid questions as well. Okay, so make sure you brush up on your Aeneid. All right, and we are going to finish this off now by reviewing our translation. All right, and this is from our friend Horace, and he was a poet, lived during the reign of Augustus, and he liked to write about common human issues and problems, and kind of poke fun at people and some of their foolishness. All right, so here we go. I was going on the sacred way, as I am accustomed, thinking about my affairs. Okay, so ibam from Ao, imperfect. On the sacred way, they tell you, is an ablative of way by which. Wow, that's pretty cool. And then cogiton's thinking, nice present active participle. All right. A certain man known to me only by name runs up, and with my hand having been seized, he says, "How are you? Quid agis?" All right. So a couple things here. Rapta manu would be a lovely ablative absolute. So cool. And then sweetly I say, since that man was following me, I, seeking terribly much to leave, was going at one time more swiftly, at another time I was standing still, or I was stopping. Okay, so we've got a cum clause here. This would be probably a causal clause, I would take it. And then we have quairains, another present active participle. And then you've got modo modo, which they give you on the side, now, or at one time, at another time. Ebom is from Ao, like it was before. And then Calarius, haha, Calarius, no. That would be a lovely example of a comparative adjective, or excuse me, adverb. All right, that man was speaking, praising the roads and Rome. These are some nice roads we got, guys. Nice roads. As I responded nothing to that man, "You seek terribly much to go away," he said. Indeed. And then, "I am going to the house of a certain friend, far across the Tiber," I say. Okay, notice there the accusative of place to which, the ad ides, to the house of a certain friend. Nice genitive of possession. All right, and then this other guy answers, "I have nothing which I am doing." Okay, and I am not lazy. I will follow you. Or I am not slow as well, could also be. I will follow you. Okay, so I think the quod agam, I think that would be probably an indirect question, or potentially a relative clause of characteristic, which you learn about next chapter. So if it's that, I'm not sure where they put it in here, but it could also be an indirect question. And then I will follow you, future, from a deponent verb. Very exciting. All right, we had come to the Temple of Vesta, with a fourth part of the day already having having been passed. All right, and literally, it had to be responded to by him. It had to be responded to a lawsuit by him. More properly, probably a better sounding way would be he had to respond to a lawsuit. Okay? If he should not do this, he would lose the lawsuit. All right? So, a couple things we got here. Weneramus, the Eramus tells you pluperfect. All right? To the temple would be a place to which. Of Vesta, genitive possession. Remember, Vesta is goddess of the hearth, very important to the Romans. And she had a temple in the middle of the city with a sacred flame that was kind of symbolic of the life of Rome. All right, with the fourth part of the day having been passed, that would be a lovely example of a ablative absolute. Also, ablative of could sort of be an ablative time, sort of. Just go with the absolute. Then DA, would be a partitive genitive. Very exciting. Respondidum erat would be a passive periphrastic, with illy being the dative of agent. Okay, remember passive periphrastic shows necessity, and dative of agent is who has to fulfill the necessity. All right. Then we have a condition. This would be a present. A future less vivid. So if he should not do this, he would lose the lawsuit. All right. If you love me, he says. All right. Or you can also translate it simply as please. It's an idiomatic phrase. Remain here so that you may help me. Okay. So mane would be the imperative. And then you get a purpose clause, so that you may help me. All right. Let me perish. All right, let me perish, or I would perish, I would die, if I know civil rights or civil laws. All right, I say, what am I to do? He said. Am I to abandon you, or the lawsuit? Me. I will not do it. Then Aristius Fuscus, a friend dear to me, dative with a special adjective, very exciting, runs up. He seizes, I seize his hand, nodding, distorting my eyes, or twisting my eyes, so that he may take me away. All right, so you get a nice purpose clause there, so that he may take me away. You certainly have something which you wish to speak with me, I say. Okay, so notice there, mecum, a lovely ablative of accompaniment. Loqui would be a nice example of a complementary infinitive, going with vis. All right. Then his friend answers, I remember well, but I will speak at a better time. All right. Ablative of time. Also, meliore, notice a comparative adjective. You will forgive me. It is necessary for me to go away. He flees and abandons me under the knife. All right. Ablative of place where you don't want to be. All right. Then the adversary to that man runs up, or the adversary runs up to that man. Adversary or opponent. All right. Whither are you going most shamefully? All right. So a nice superlative there. Okay. He cries with a great great voice. Ablative of manner. All right, telling you how he is calling. And is it permitted to call you as a witness? All right, so he's talking to Horus now. And then, I offer my earlobe for him to touch. Yes. He seizes that man to the trial. All right. Thus, Apollo has saved me. Okay, and Apollo, remember, is the god of poetry and here poets as well. All right. So, if you have any questions on your test, feel free to let me know. All right. And I hope that you guys have a fabulous day. Also, please remember, if at all you are interested in Latin 3, please let me know. I'd love for you to join us. We've got a small class, and we'd love to have a couple more of you if you're interested. So please, if you have any interest in Latin 3, let me know. And as far as like honors courses go, it is a low workload for an honors course. Okay, so I love you all, and I will talk to you guys later.